Hello everyone, my name is Axel and I like to build stuff. In this video, I'll be showcasing my 3D printed hovercraft project. It's based off of Tom Stanton's original single motor design that was released about a year ago in a video showcasing exactly that. And he released the files to the public, but there's one thing with that. He put a price tag on it. And the one thing I don't have is money, so I made my own design. Like any other hovercraft, mine uses the technique of putting high pressure air underneath the vehicle to lift it up and make it have as little contact to the ground as possible. But what makes my hovercraft unique is the fact that it is lacking a skirt, which is this thing. A skirt is a bag that holds the air under the hovercraft so then it can go over uneven surfaces or even water. This is mainly useful in military or transportation, but for my purposes, I'll just be using an indoor hovercraft. Another thing that makes this hovercraft very unique is the fact that it only uses one motor instead of two. This motor accomplishes both the tasks of pushing the hovercraft forward and lifting it off the ground to make it very frictionless. But the way the hovercraft holds the air underneath the vehicle is by using what's called a skid plate, which I'll showcase later. Alrighty, that's just the summary of my boring hovercraft. Let's get into how I designed it. I started by designing this propeller with a 12mm pitch and a 4-inch diameter. This should produce enough thrust to power this hovercraft. Next, I designed this fan duct, which is both the motor mount and the fan duct for more efficient thrust output. After I finally got a design that fitted the motor, I printed both the hovercraft, the skid plate, and the motor mount. This hovercraft alone is 210mm tall, which is a little big for small printer users, so when I put it up on Thingiverse, I cut it in half so then everybody can print it. After I got all the parts together, I grabbed the counterclockwise propeller, the motor guard, and the hovercraft, glued the hovercraft and the motor mount together, put the propeller on the motor, and then tested to make sure all the electronics were right before fitting it in. If your motor is spinning the wrong way, just switch two of the phase wires and this should fix your issue. After I had identified that the motor was spinning in the right direction, I took the servo, attached the rudder attachment using the screw that's provided with the servo, and I slid it into this little slot right here. Then I glued the skid plate to the bottom of the hovercraft. It comes in two pieces and it should fit right on there. And before you go out and drive this little hovercraft, I would suggest that you use either a 4S or an extremely lightweight 3S. The battery I was using was a 3S and it didn't quite have enough power to lift the hovercraft all the way off the ground, but with a little push it should be able to go just fine over concrete or some smooth flooring. And now that your hovercraft is fully assembled, let's take it out for a test drive. So, I come out to a local indoor basketball rink, and they've been kind enough to let me test this hovercraft in here, since it's a lot smoother than pavement. And I brought the hovercraft, I've tightened up all the bolts, and I brought a 3S battery with me. It's only a 2200, but it should last long enough. I have my transmitter right here, and let's see if this thing will actually run. And the second after he said that, this happened. Alright, so the hovercraft's on, and since that big crack is in the hull, it seems to be veering left quite a lot. In fact, here, I'll show you. And if you notice that, yeah, I was using a lot of right rudder to try and keep it to go straight, and it was just drifting, so let's see how much footage we could actually get out of this. Alright, so I kind of made a big dirt because the prop hit, I don't know if it's focused, but the prop hit the battery, knocking it off. In fact, it's completely unbalanced. It only has two blades. And here, if I set this down, it is cracked. So Now, I am aware that not everybody has the money to build or even wreck a hovercraft like this, so I designed this mini ground effect dragster that works the same as a hovercraft by pushing the forward coming air downwards, but it's a one-piece print and there's no electronics required, so you just push it against the floor and it should perform like this. Also, I really think the drag spoiler helped with performance. So to sum up this project, I really liked using the little hovercraft around in that gym before, of course, it completely exploded. Too bad I didn't get that on camera. But besides that, I really hope you enjoyed this project, and if you want to see a part 2 to this video, make sure to subscribe. I plan on building an electric chronoplan. And also, before you leave, make sure to comment down below something that you would like me to build in the future. Or if you're comfortable with it, try sharing something you're thankful for with me. Because as of recording, it's Thanksgiving. And I know one thing I'm thankful for is all the people who have supported me throughout my YouTube journey. They're the ones that encourage me to build better content for you, the viewer. And with that said, thanks to them for supporting me, and thanks to you for watching.